We got ourselves a new ultra budget baitcaster. It's called the NexAngler Alpha Neo. Let's check it out. Hi, I'm Jacob from Yep Fishing. If you're new to the channel, we focus on budget BFS, ultralight and saltwater fishing tackle so you can make an informed decision on your next purchase. Anyway, on to the video. All right, so here is the NexAngler Alpha Neo. NexAngler as in N-E-X Angler, not Next Angler. It's a 147 gram reel, 6+1 ball bearings. It has a 4.7 gram spool, 4.5 kilos of drag, and a 7.2 to 1 gear ratio, which picks up 74 centimeters per turn. It's also got an aluminium alloy main gear and a T-shaped tapered line guide, which is my favorite. And the bearings are stainless steel and the braking system is Magtrax. All right, let's take a look at the reel in a little bit more detail. Firstly, this is the box that it comes with. Obviously, there you go. There's the brand NexAngler, a new brand on the market. I got a message from NexAngler saying, would you like to check out our new reel? And I said, sure, let's check it out. Never heard of the brand before, so let's give it a go. And when I opened the box and had a look at it, and then I looked up the price, I was kind of surprised just how cheap it was. It's a really good value for money. It is around about 30 Australian dollars right now, so absolutely phenomenal. Take a look at the box. Has it got any details on it? It's got the gear ratio, the bearing count, the drag, and the line capacity. P1 160 meters, and same on the other side. And it's just a basic box. Yeah, just a basic box, very small box actually. It's it's only about 5 centimeters high. It's kind of a bit smaller, but it's a pretty low profile reel. Let's take a look at the reel. All right, so here is the reel. It's matte black. I love black reels. I much prefer black reels over silver reels, to be honest, because most fishing rods are more black than they are any other color. So kind of makes sense, for me, big aesthetics guy. So black reels, they suit more of a black rod. We've got some orange details here, obviously orange spool. We've got a little bit of orange on the spool tension knob. We've got a little bit of orange on here, and we've got a NexAngler logo in orange right there. Let's take a look at some of the components of the reel. Let's just see what it's all about. So it's got this, it's a little bit of a different shape of a TPE handle here. We've got the normal sort of silver end cap there, quite comfortable to hold. Just have a look. There's much play in that knob. We got hardly any play in that knob. And these ones have bushings, not bearings. So I mean, if you wanted to put bearings in there, you could, but bushings, they are sort of more saltwater friendly. It's totally up to you, but that's the kind of sacrifices you make to keep the price so low. I'll have a look at the other one here. This one is a little bit stiffer, I would say. This one moves quite freely for a bushing knob. This one's a little stiffer, and it's just got a smidge of play in there. So maybe you could remove a shim or something like that if that really bothered you. But, all in all, you don't feel it on the retrieve. I mean, you feel that this one is kind of more free, but, really you don't really feel it. It doesn't affect the fishing performance at all. We've got the metal handle there, little orange detail there. I like this drag star. It's quite a big drag star, 6-pointed drag star. And big drag stars are good because you can retrieve with one hand. You can, have your other hand free, and you can just retrieve the lure slowly. If you're doing a finesse technique and you're just, dragging it along the bottom or doing some little hops and some really slow retrieves, it's very easy to just be able to, retrieve it with that drag star, which I like, because some drag stars, they sort of move a little bit, but this one is, you can hear the click there. Even if we back it down, I think it's going to be quite good to do. It's not, the drag star's not moving. Sometimes when you do that, you will move the drag star, but it doesn't matter whether it's in its loose position or, that's fully loose there. If we crank it up, It's obviously no issue. In terms of the movement of this, some other reels can be, quite hard and have sort of like a pretty small range of motion in terms of, how many turns you can kind of get out of it and fine tune it. But this one, so it's all the way down on its lowest point there, and it's quite easy to spin, and now it's a little bit harder, and now we're sort of locking it up. So there's quite a, nice play, range of motion, should we say. Don't forget to please drop a comment and a like, and set a hook in that subscribe button. Let's have a look at the handle play. There's no handle play. There's no in and out play right there. We've got that little alpha logo in orange. I didn't point that out before. Let's have a listen to the drag clicker. Comes with a drag clicker. A little bit of a deeper spool, as you can see there. So it is quite a... I like a loud drag clicker, to be honest. Like, if you're going to have a drag clicker, make it loud, make it audible, make it, as clicky as you can, really. It doesn't sound like a cheap plasticky drag clicker that some of the cheaper reels have. It sounds quite good, and I think it is metal from the images that I saw online. Now, I'll just mention another really cheap reel, the Simrio Phantom reel. Performed well, but the drag clicker on the one I had, and also I noticed, I spoke to a friend about it, and his also had the same thing, and the plastic drag clicker failed on that. So, that is not a good thing for the Simrio reel, which I do no longer recommend. But this one, pretty good. Let's have a look at the spool tension knob here. If it's clicking or not. Yes, it is clicking. Range of motion is good. And another thing that some reels have, when you kind of back it off, the spool tension knob can get kind of loose, but it's firm. It doesn't feel loose at all. That can be a real annoyance when that happens. So that's the spool tension knob. In terms of the button here, we'll have a look at the play here. Okay, there's no side to side play, up and down play, very solid. Clickability, we'll just see how it clicks through the turning of the knob, because some reels, there'll be some points on the handle turn where it will just kind of skip and it won't re-engage the button there. But it seems like this one is consistently engaging or disengaging the button, so that is a good sign. Now let's take a look at the brake adjustment. It goes up to 10, so that's on 0 right now, as you can see there, and it's pretty easy to turn. You can just use your thumb as you're holding the reel and you can make that adjustment. You can do it one-handed, no problem at all. And it's, it feels quite comfortable to palm, so that is a good thing. All right, well, let's pop off the side plate, take a look at the spool and the brakes. So just your normal little click there, click that down there. And I can't remember if this is a pop off or a screw around or a spin or a door. Let's see here. Okay, it's not going down, so it must be a straight pop out. There we go. I don't think I had that button fully out. So that's that. Let's take a look at the spool first. It is a deeper spool, so not a BFS spool. It's I guess it's a similar depth to a lot of spools that I've recently reviewed, like the CISO 0VX. A little bit deeper, but still a very lightweight spool, 4.7 grams, short shaft, got the stainless steel bearings there. And yeah, I think it looks quite smart. We'll have a look at the brake system here. We've got a MagTrax style brake system here. So these brakes, as you adjust the brakes, they move in and out, getting closer or further from the spool. We'll just take a look at the play, the travel rather, because as I usually mention, there has been reels in the past where the amount of travel, say from setting 0 to 5 might be okay, then from 5 to 10 the travel is almost non-existent. So we'll put it down to 0, and we can see there that the brakes are just sitting around about, I would say, 1.5 millimeters below the lip around here. So just jack up the brakes and just hopefully that evenly moves out. Just keep an eye on it. Yep. So it's protruded out about 1 millimeter. So just keeping an eye on it. Yeah, that's all good. That works as intended. Got a little stainless steel bearing in there. And, you know, if you really wanted to, you could swap them out. But I'm kind of a fan of stainless steel bearings, especially on a reel like this that is not like a super finesse reel where you're not going to be, you know, casting 2 grams necessarily. Although it does claim to be able to cast 2 grams, but we will have a look at that in the review coming up in the coming weeks. So aesthetics wise, I think it's a pretty smart looking reel. On the retrieve, I would say the smoothness, I'm not feeling any grittiness at all, or very slight amount, similar to a lot of reels. I mean, very few reels have been buttery smooth, probably only 2 that I've reviewed, and you know, you guys probably know what they are, but this is definitely on par. And for the price point, 30 Australian dollars, that's incredibly cheap. That's cheaper than, you know, Seesaw Castex or those Semrio reels or whatever. This is it's a very, very low price reel, and it seems to have very good build quality as well. So I would say this reel initially, if you're looking at getting a reel like this, this is more of an all-rounder. It's not necessarily a BFS reel, but you would be able to cast, you know, I would say my prediction is this is going to be good for casting 1/8 gram, 1/8 of an ounce, you know, type soft plastics, sort of like your, you know, your 4 gram hard body lures, up into, I don't know what you could cast on this. You could probably easily cast 12 grams or something like that. But yeah, a very good general purpose reel, bass fishing, some saltwater fishing, that type of thing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a comment and a like. I would absolutely really appreciate it. And until next time, catch you in the next video.